Namaste. How's everybody doing? Sorry if this is late. Sometimes spirit works that way. This is a video for Tiffany. Tiffany, you know who you are, okay? I was meditating and trying to get your energy and get messages, but I just want to re-say my prayer over at the beginning of this video. I have been pulling cards and looking at, birthdays and things like that, that information that I asked you for. But I want to say a prayer. So hopefully everybody who's watching this video will say the prayer with us, okay? I just want to light this candle, selenite, because I feel like it is good. I hope everybody can hear me. Alright, because at night it's kind of hard for me to speak loud. Alright. Maybe move you in closer to me. Let's not set myself up on fire. Okay, we got a candle for the boys. It's been lit for a while. Okay. Okay, dear God, please help me to receive any messages for Tiffany, and any messages from her spirit guides and from my spirit guides, Jonathan, John, Sam, Lily, Shanann, Gannon, if you want to, but her family members, anybody who wants to come up to the fence to give me any messages for Tiffany, I'd very much appreciate it. She would very much appreciate it. And anything that she needs to know from her sister, from her mom, her dad, from her boyfriend, whoever wants to come up, whoever wants to step up. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. And no negative energy is allowed to come to me. No negative spirits or energy is allowed to come through me or to me. Only good from love and light, from Jesus and spirit guides. Thank you, dear God. Thank you, spirit guides. Okay. Just a little extra protection. Okay. I'm just going to put that down right here. Okay, so first what I'm going to do, I forget how I do this. I do forget how I do it, but how I used to do it. But I'm just going to be natural with myself and just think about what comes to me. And it might resonate with you, Tiffany, or it might not. You may listen to this 2 or 3 times before you might say, oh, you might not catch it the first time, but then it might make sense to you the second or third time that you listen to it. Okay, so I am getting a very energetic, I was really trying for your sister, Penny, who's a Libra. She's born on October 17th. I noticed that your mom, Patricia Ann, is also a Libra, and that's my mom's name and my sister's name. Okay, my mom was a Libra, and her name was Patricia Ann, or is Patricia Ann, just like yours. So we have that in common. So being that your sister Penny and your mom is a Libra, so I was like very interested in that. So I was asking them any messages for your sister and your daughter. So I did, but they want, there's a man that stepped forth, okay? And he's like, Katrina, I want to speak. I've been trying to speak to her. For such a long time. So the other people are almost like acquiescing. okay? It's not that your mom and sister don't have anything to say to you, and your dad. Dad was a little quiet. So you know what? Maybe as the reading goes on, he will talk to me. So I'm going to ask them. Okay, so I believe this is your boyfriend. And first of all, he doesn't like that label, boyfriend, because he's like, Katrina, we were together a long time. And when you live together with somebody over 7 years, they become your common law spouse. So I think that's what he's indicating. Is that what you're indicating? His name is Keen. And he's also saying, yeah, he's like, but we broke up beforehand. But he goes, but I love her. I loved her, I love her. I still love her. He goes, I try to help her from over here. All right, can you just slow it down a little bit, because it's a lot of messages and it's like very exciting. So, thank you. I'm open and receptive to receiving any messages for her. Yeah, he's like, that's the closest, she's the closest that I had to a spouse, to a wife. I consider her my wife. Okay, so, okay, so I'm gonna say, all right, the first thing he's doing is, he's like, I'm like 45. He goes, but I don't look no 45, right, Katrina? That's right, you don't. So he goes, I'm showing myself as like in the 20s, because that's when he liked being in his 20s. And he definitely looks like he's in his 20s. Handsome man. Okay. He's like, I'm handsome and I can be charming, but not without problems. Hey, who isn't without problems? Everybody has problems and issues. Okay. A lot of people want to say they're sorry to you. So that's kind of what I was hearing earlier when I was meditating and I was flipping a couple of cards. Okay, so how should I say it? Just say it. I know, just spit it out, right? He's telling me, just spit it out, Katrina. Okay, so he wants to say, and his birthday, you told me, Tiffany, his birthday, Keen's birthday, I'm talking about your boyfriend, for over 10 years. And you lived with him, I don't know for how long, I guess over 10 years? Yes, okay. He goes, Katrina, I messed that up. But you can't take all the... He goes, no, I'm taking all the blame. He goes, there's nothing wrong with that girl. He calls you that girl. He doesn't say that lady, because I guess you were together very long and very young. What he's saying is, all right, so he was on the cusp of Leo and Virgo, and you're also a Virgo, okay? Virgo Nation. Okay. So what he's saying to me is that he's sorry. Basically, I don't know why that's hard to spit out, because a lot of people saying that over there at the fence. What he does is he goes like this with his hands, and he puts his head down, almost like a little boy, and he's like, Katrina, she forgave me so many times, over and over again. It's not like she didn't forgive me enough times. She did. And I wish I did it the right way. I wish I did it the right way. I didn't do things the right way. He goes, but nobody's perfect, right, Katrina? He learned that. Yes, he is in heaven. You told me he did kill himself. He took his life. I don't know how. I don't like to see that. Okay, it's just like a shade comes down. And he says, I'm ashamed of myself for that. But I worked through it with Jesus. I worked through it in heaven. And I do see your family. Um, Mostly he hangs out with your mom, but he says he's aware of your sister, and he's aware, and they all talk about you in good terms, and they wish that you had confidence, more confidence in yourself. Um, it makes them sad to see you not have that much confidence in yourself. Um, yeah, now your mother's jumping in, but Keen is not finished, so he's like, "Wait, you have to wait," and she's acquiesces because he's like a son. Um, he's like a son to her. She treats him like a son. They were on a similar journey. They had both substance abuse issues. Did they both have substance abuse issues? It's all in there. He's like, it's all in there, Katrina. You don't have to be specific. She doesn't like specifics. They're telling me you don't like your business out there. You don't like specifics. Um, okay, okay. What is the message that you have for your girlfriend, your wife? I'm sorry, and I'm sorry that I was stupid. I did a stupid thing. Instead of dealing with our problems, okay, okay. He's like taking out a list from his pocket, his jeans. He's taking out a list. Okay. All right, but you have to slow it down because I have to. You're saying it in your language into my head, and it's a lot, and there's some numbers floating around, so it's confusing me. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." Then he just held up a four-leaf clover. I like four-leaf clovers. Oh, he goes, "Katrina, it's not for you, it's for her." Did four-leaf clovers mean something to you? I'm talking to Tiffany now. Okay, anyway. Okay, so he's saying that he knows that you guys broke up a little bit before he took his life. Instead of dealing with his problems in a way that like it would bring you guys back together, he said he messed everything up and he just got sad one day or one week, and he felt like it was too much of a mountain to climb. So he goes, "I chose the a coward's way out." He used those words, "a coward's way out." Those aren't my words, those are his words. He said he has two mothers up there, your mother and his biological mother. Okay. He goes, everybody has a journey on earth, and then you mess it up and God still loves you. But you have to be sorry. And I think my wife, he's calling you his wife again. I think my wife knew that my heart was a good heart. That my heart and soul was really good. But everything that got messed up, maybe there's depression, maybe there's addiction problems. But he said, in the end, I think she knew how much I loved her. And still do. So he's asking you, please accept my apology. And I told you there's a lot of them. I don't have my back scratcher and spirits coming in, so it's in the other room. I don't want to leave, so okay. Now I'm talking to Keen again in my mind, and I want to know if there's any other messages for your wife. He's talking about dogs. He says, I have the babies up here. Did you guys have babies, dogs? Your fur babies? It's like Katrina, I play with them every single day. They'll be here when she comes up. Aw. Who's a smoker? I see. Is he a smoker? Because I see somebody taking cigarettes and packing it. You know how you take a pack of cigarettes and you bang it to get all the tobacco to come down? He goes, we can't do that up here, but we still like think about it, and maybe that he used to be a smoker. Mm-hmm. He's saying something about your house. Like he's like, I'm still with you. I'm still watching over you. It's okay to pray for me or to me. Just talk to me. Even if you feel like you're not hearing back from him, he might play a song on the radio that reminds you of when you guys were together. You might smell him. He goes, Katrina, I don't know if she really wants to smell me. Okay. Sometimes I didn't smell so good. Okay. Anyway, he goes, I don't want you to think about the ending of the relationship when I moved out and when we broke up and then I took my life. He goes, please don't think about that in your head all the time, and do not ever blame yourself. He goes, that was all on me. He goes, please think about, he's showing me, somebody, I guess you're cooking at the stove and he's helping set the table, and then there's the animals are there, your fur babies are there, and he goes, Katrina, we were a real family. We were like a real family. And there was a time where it was like, you know, happiness. I was making her laugh. She was making me smile. And we had things to look forward to when we were like a real family. And he goes, I still feel like we are. He goes, I want her to think about those times, even if there's other relationships that you had after him or after he passed. He goes, when you think about me, and he's holding up a full leaf clover again. He goes, when you think about me, please think of that fun time. He goes, even if a small apartment, were you in a small apartment, but still, it was fun. You made it fun together. Because he's showing me like a small, he goes, we didn't have much, but we made it like a home. And it was like two best friends joking around. So what he's saying is, his advice is, if you don't like your house or where you at, he's like, where you at? Sorry about my New York accent. I can't really do it in Texas. Or where you at, girl? Where you all at? If you don't like where you're at, make moves to move. Even though moving is a pain in the neck, he's like, you should be happy. And just heard something back there. That's scary. You should be happy where you live. And if your home is not bringing you happiness, then start looking, and the right one will come to you. He goes, I'll make sure of it. He goes, or if you want to stay where you are in, he goes, fix it up to make it happier. And he's showing me in your garden. He's showing me that you like to be in your garden. Oh, okay, I'll tell her. Wow, he's very talkative. He says that he's going to send you, just when I was about to say he's going to send you flowers, look what the picture came up. Isn't that weird? When he's telling me that he's going to send you yellow flowers. So I don't know if it doesn't look like sunflowers. It looks like mums for some reason. Is that important? Yellow flowers, or maybe even black-eyed Susies, black-eyed Susan. But he's like, when you see the yellow flower, that's me. I'm trying to give it to you. Okay? I don't know, it might have some importance in your relationship. Okay. Thank you for those messages, Keen. I'm sure Tiffany will enjoy them. He's like, yes, ma'am. So are you happy? He is like, after I worked through it, he goes, I had to work through it with Jesus. He specifically says Jesus. And is it God? It's like, of course. But they brought him through his life review like little boy. And he wanted you to know some of his happiest times where he felt loved and cared for was with you. So I think that's what I was feeling before I started my reading. I was feeling that a lot. But I couldn't put it into words because there was so many people came to the fence. Okay. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Thank you, Keen. Okay, so we're still doing my straight read before the cards. So it might go over to another video. That's okay. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to put pressure on myself to say one reading is going to be 2 videos or one reading is going to be 1 video. I can't do that. I got to just go with whoever comes to the fence and talk about it. Okay. And hopefully I'm resonating with some of it. And causing some kind of peace and, peace. I don't know if you're saying in your mind, do they still see me? My mom, my sister, my boyfriend, husband. I don't want to get in trouble again. My father, do they still see me, or do they still hear me? They see every single thing you do, especially your parents. They know about every hair on your head. Okay, they know about every worry in your heart. And every teardrop that comes from you, and when you're thinking about them or just worried about yourself, worried about living on planet Earth and working through the matrix, they are with you. They don't want you to be stressed. They don't want you to be unhappy. And especially, they don't want you to be alone. Okay, are you the sister? Can you just identify yourself? Just so I know. I think this is your sister. I'm the sister. I'm the sister. Okay. And what do you want to tell your sister? I'm sorry I had to leave. I don't always get how people leave. I feel like it was medical. But anyhow, I'm not here really to rehash how somebody left the earth. But what she's telling me, I'm sorry I had to leave my sister. And also, she goes, Katrina, I wasn't always the best sister. I should have been nicer to her. So see how we're getting a lot of apologies to you. Please receive them. Please accept them. Because it's so strong when it comes into me. It comes in really strong. And then, like, if there's a question mark where they feel like you didn't accept it, then they linger around me. How are you going to get her to accept it? How are you going to get them to accept our apology? Because it makes them go higher realm. It makes them get closer to God. If they do indeed reach out to apologize, that means that they have worked through so many things and they have seen every pain they caused you, every bad word. And I hear a lot of bad words. I hear, like, in other words, criticisms. And then they wonder, hey, why is Tiffany always putting herself down or thinking bad about herself? Um, they are responsible for some of that. Okay. It's like low self-esteem, and now your mother is raising her hand. And she can't wait, and she's like, Katrina, it's my fault. Everything's my fault. No, it's not. It's not. You know what it is? Okay, let me just say what I wrote down that I was getting earlier. First of all, she says, I am sorry I could not be the mother that you deserved. You deserved to have somebody wonderful to make you feel secure, to build you up. She goes, sometimes I might have done it. Sometimes maybe I hit that high note. But she also had addiction problems, I think similar to Keen. Okay? Somebody's wearing their baseball cap backwards now. So I guess that's Keen. Okay. But basically, your mom is saying, I am so sorry I didn't treat you. She goes, so many times I treated you like you were my mother and I was the daughter. She goes, I should have been making you feel secure and not put you in that position. So she is giving a heart. She's holding up a heart. So anytime you see hearts, that's your mom. Anytime like a heart just comes up on television or on YouTube, or you see a rock in the shape of a heart, that's your mom saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, my daughter. Now, to address another thing, she's also saying, I should have said I was proud of you, how proud I was of you, of the little girl that you were, and then the young woman that you became. When you had a situation where you moved out with your boyfriend, you were in your mid-20s. She shouldn't have had the reaction she did. That's what she's telling me. She goes, Katrina, she was a young woman. She deserved to live her own life. She goes, I wasn't mad that she was going to live with somebody. She goes, I was mad that she was leaving me. She goes, because she was my rock. I depended on her to be like, to pick me up when I fell down. And she's showing me a bottle. She's pointing to a bottle. She's pointing to a glass. Okay, sorry. Need a sip now. She's saying, sweetheart, I am so sorry that I didn't treasure you like you needed to be treasured, that you should have been treasured. But in my heart and mind, I always thought, I can't lose that girl. I can't lose that girl. I don't know if you were more reliable than your sister, and your sister is chiming in with a yes. She's saying, they're both saying that you were the reliable one. You were the one that kept things in order. You were the one that kept things going until you couldn't anymore put up with your mom. Your mom is saying, Katrina, I don't blame her for living her life. I love her. I still love her. I loved her then, but I had illness. It's a disease. I learned about it up here. I don't have it anymore. And she said, every single thing I did when you were growing up that I did wrong in terms of my addiction, she showed me a bottle and a glass. She goes, I am so sorry. And but I learned that something happened to me when I was little, and it's a disease that is in the family. So she's just apologetic, and she's just showing that she's showing me it's painful that you were embarrassed. She embarrassed you as a school age child, something with school, and maybe she showed up drunk. I'm not sure, but I think that's where she was going with it. In other words, she was like, I'm sorry, sweetheart, for embarrassing you. And she calls you sweetheart. She's my sweetheart. Oh. She doesn't want you to feel bad about it. She doesn't want you to think you weren't loved because she loves you so much, and she is sorry for her mistakes. Please forgive her. She goes, I'm still your mommy. I still want you to call me mommy. That's what she's saying. Even if I didn't deserve it back then, I'm still your mother. I'm still your mommy. So when you are saying a prayer, or just talking to her, please call her mom or mommy. She goes, Katrina, I said mommy. Okay, okay, I'm sorry. Is there anything else that you wanted to tell your daughter? Or your sister? She goes, it's still my turn. Katrina, it's still the mom's turn. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Cleansing breath. Showing me something with shoes. Were you growing out of your shoes very quickly as a kid? Show me, like, okay, I see these very clearly, like black shoes, shiny, with like a little buckle goes over it. Or maybe she was dressing you and your sister similar. But basically, what she's saying to me is she wants you to know how you are her right hand person. You are the person that always she can count on. She goes, I couldn't count on myself. I couldn't count on the other kids in the family, not to diss them, but she goes, my daughter that's born on September